Oregon schools have been chronically underfunded for over 20 years. Ballot Measures 5 and 50, passed in the 1990s, shifted the main source of public school funding from local property taxes to the Oregon State General Fund. But the General Fund doesn't have a dedicated pool of money to fully fund education. The solution? An amendment to the Oregon Constitution that allows legislators to either fully fund schools or to write a report explaining why they didn't. Our legislators, year after year, opt to write the report instead of fully funding our schools. In response, PPS allowed individual schools to set up foundations to raise money to buy teachers. But not all schools have foundations, or the ability to raise enough money to buy additional teachers. In fact, the schools that raise the most money serve mostly white, wealthier communities, with an average Black student population of less than 2%. By comparison, Black students make up almost 9% of the PPS student population. And schools with the highest percentage of Black and historically underserved students don't have school foundations and have never been able to buy teachers, while top fundraising schools buy teachers year after year. The result is that school foundation fundraising is racially inequitable. But don't school foundations raise money for all schools? PPS requires that school foundations contribute to a central fund that distributes grants to schools that need them. But even this system helps perpetuate racially inequitable funding. Here's how it works. Imagine a school foundation raises $220,000. School foundations keep the first $10,000, plus 2/3 of additional money raised, in this case, a total of $150,000. The remaining 1/3, $70,000, goes to the PPS Parent Fund, which makes grants to schools based on need. But PPS Parent Fund grants, which typically range from $12,000 to $50,000, are rarely used to pay for any additional staffing, while a very small number of high fundraising schools raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, enough to hire multiple teachers and aides. Which explains how we end up with a racially inequitable model of school funding that benefits wealthier, whiter schools, while underfunding schools that serve the majority of Black students and other historically underserved communities. It's time for foundation funds to be shared equitably across the district. Here are some ways that you can advocate for that change. Start by visiting our website, where you'll be able to get informed and understand how foundation funds are allocated across the district. Make a pledge to avoid contributions that pay for teachers in individual schools. Call on the PPS board to immediately end inequitable foundation fundraising. And share your ideas for fully funding staff and teaching positions at all PPS schools. We all want what's best for our kids. If we truly believe in an equitable system, we need to stop relying on donations to individual school foundations. We must demand that all schools are properly funded so that all kids get the education they both need and deserve.